Hello guys, and welcome to the 14th video of the HTML tutorial series, where we're going to be covering even more on images. Okay, so in the last video we talked about images on another server, GIFs, floating right and left, and image maps. So let's go ahead and talk about images as backgrounds. Okay, I'm going to delete the image map and the image. I'm going to change the titles because we're not going to be talking about tables yet. This video is going about more on images. Okay. Well, let's say you wanted to add the subway as a background image to the body. You would go here, add style, set it equal to background image, which is a CSS property, and in here type URL, open a parenthesis, and inside single quotation marks enter the URL of the image, which is the name itself, since the files are in the same folder, and enter subway.jpg. If you now save and refresh, you're going to get the subway as a background image. But okay, let me change the heading, give it background color, maybe black, and white text. Okay, and I'm going to do this for paragraphs as well, only without the text line, just so you can see the heading 1 and the paragraph. Okay, so this is how the image is displayed. Actually, as you can see, the image repeats itself. A grid of the image is created when the image is not big enough. Of course, with 100% zoom, meaning the normal, the image would be way more than big. Okay, we would have to zoom out all the way to 25% to see a second portion of the image. Even at 33, it fully covers our background. Okay, and just to see how it would look with more stuff on the page, let's go ahead and add another paragraph. Add I can now set images as background. Oh no, okay, copy this a million times, then copy this sometimes, refresh, and this is how it would look. Okay, so to give you a better idea of how it exactly looks, I've got a reduced size version of the subway image. In order to reduce an image size, just open it with Paint, click Resize, hit Pixels, and from 6000 by 4000 you can make sure maintain aspect ratio is checked. You can go for 600, or maybe you can simply go for 10%. Okay, and yeah, if you click OK, you can just hit save while exiting, but I don't want to save because I have already saved the subway reduced .jpg another image. So if I save this and refresh, you can see how exactly the grid repeats itself. It will repeat it, the image will repeat itself indefinitely actually. Okay, so you now know how to set images as backgrounds on bodies, but I want you to pay attention on um, something little here, but little but important. The image, when placed as background in a body, will also cover the 10% margin there is, okay, when talking about the body. Remember that. Let's go ahead and let's maybe delete all the paragraphs but one. Make this paragraph triple in size and copy, actually get rid of the style from the body and add style to both the paragraphs, the small and the big. I want you to save and refresh here. What just happened? Okay, as you can see, right now the image is set as background on the paragraph, actually both the paragraphs, okay, but not the heading. We can do it on the heading as well if you want. It works for everything. Okay, now in the heading too. Well, if you zoom in and out, you can see that it will dynamically adjust its size to properly fit the paragraph. Okay, actually what happens depending on how much you zoom is that the width of the image will remain the same no matter what. For example, this is 600 pixels, and if we zoom out, this will remain at 600 pixels. Okay, the resolution of the image as a background will not change. As you can see, it is the same across all elements, 600 pixels. Okay, but what if we set some margin on the paragraph? Let's go ahead and add margin and add like 50 pixels, something large, and refresh. What just happened? The margin of the body is here. Okay, let me draw a straight margin for once. Okay, the margin of the body is here, 10%. Where is the image? The 50 pixels we have here. Remember when we added the image to the body, the background image to the body, this right here was covered. Why is it not covered right now? What is wrong? Well, there is nothing wrong really, because the image will cover the margin of the body only. It will not cover the margin of paragraphs or other HTML elements. Let's now go ahead and add some padding and make it, let's say, 80 pixels. 100 is a little too much, and refresh. Well, now as you can see, let me get the ruler once more. This, come on, is the margin of the body. until here. Up here is the margin of the image, and up here is the padding of the image. So you have body margin, image margin, and image padding. Okay, so the images as backgrounds will cover the margins of bodies. Let's make it green. They will cover the paddings, and the paddings only of paragraphs, but they will not cover the margins of the images. Okay? And the truth is, they should not cover the margins of the images, because the margin does not belong to the actual HTML element. Okay? The margin determines the space between the border of an element and the outside world, the other HTML elements. The padding determines the space between the border of the element and the content of the element. Okay? So the margins should be white, but the margins should be white and the paddings should be filled in, because the paddings belong to the actual element. This right here. Okay, but as you saw before earlier, the body margins are filled in because of, let's say, aesthetic reasons. The HTML developers, the HTML creators actually decided to do it this way because it would look much nicer. Okay, now what else do we have to talk about? We are going to talk about the picture element. And what is the picture element? Okay, let me remove the style from here. We do not want any style. Let me remove this, let me remove that, let me save everything, let me refresh, and we're back to normal. Okay, so go ahead and type picture. What is the picture element? Let's suppose we have this window right here. What if we made it smaller? Okay, and the left side came here, and then even smaller, and it came here. And we had an image which we wanted to change according to the size. So we got image A, and in case our window grew smaller, we would want image B to be displayed, and then we would want image C to be displayed, etc. Okay? Well, there is an HTML element for that, and it is called the picture element. Go ahead and type source media with media inside, and inside parentheses I want you to insert the minimum width. Okay, let's say 1000 pixels. And in the src set I want you to choose the image. Let's say I want the big one to be the subway reduced, the reduced subway. Okay, and I want you to copy this once and change this to, let's say, red panda reduced. And what else reduced do I have? I got neon reduced. Okay, now I want you to go here and add an actual image, just a plain image. Set it to neon reduced JPG, or any image you want. Okay, seriously, any image you want. I'm just using these ones because they got reduced resolution. Let's say neon. And now I want you to go ahead and save this as it is and refresh Chrome. I want you to now grab it like that and resize the window and see what happens. Okay, before you do that, I want you to change this to 500 with the red panda. I forgot, sorry. Refresh and now see what happens. The moment the window drops to underneath 1000 pixels, the red panda appears. And the moment it drops underneath 500 pixels, which did not happen, the neon appears. Okay, so let me change this to 700 so that it actually changes. And here we go. In order to see how many pixels your browser is, you can click right and inspect, and then in the top right corner you will be able to see the pixel width and height, but we want the width. So as long as we are over 100 pixels, the subway image will be displayed. Okay, let me go down to actually 1000. Okay, if I go to 999, then boom, 1999, 1999, the red panda appears. And if I go to 699 under 700, the neon appears. Okay, 800, 647, 787, 636, etc. The red panda will only appear between 999 and 700. Anything under 700 will give us the neon, and anything over 999 will give us the subway. The reason this happens is we say we want a picture to be displayed. Okay, with the width down to 1000, we want the subway to be displayed. Then if it's under 1000, okay, first check this. If it's under 1000, ignore it. Go here. What is your minimum width? 700. Is the width of the browser over 700? At least, actually not over, at least 700 pixels. 700 will work. If it is at least 700 and you have already ignored it because it's under 1000, you can go ahead and display the red panda. If it is under 700 as well, I want you to, no matter what, display this right here. Okay, so this is pretty much how it works. Okay, it's really easy. But you're gonna ask me, why do I have to set the last one as an image? Okay, can I just not set the minimum width to 0 pixels or something, or minus 1 million? Actually, I don't know if you can do minus 1 million. You can for sure do 0 pixels, but the reason you want to be adding a normal image instead of a source media is that some old browsers like Internet Explorer 8 or whatever, or 9, I'm not sure, do not support the picture element. And since you want to cover all 100% of your audience, you want to be adding the image element inside the picture element. Okay, so that was pretty much it, guys. Okay, I don't have to teach you anything else about pictures, about images. We are pretty much done. Okay, so In the next video, we are probably gonna be talking about tables in the next 2 videos actually. Okay, because we have a lot to talk about on tables, and I might as well do 3 videos. I'll try to keep it at 2. Okay, so thank you so much guys for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video.